Hey there folks, welcome to sunny southern Texas in the middle of January. As you can see, I'm being facetious. The purpose of this video today is to talk about a common problem with the C6 Corvette, and that is the electronic door handles, which often over time become corroded or dirty underneath in the contact plates and cause the door to have some difficulty in opening. So what we're going to do is take a look at a door that's just been reconditioned so that you see exactly how the door should work, which is just a simple light pressure and the door opens. Now the mechanism for the electronic door handle is actually quite simple. It's basically two components that are held together by two screws and then mounted onto the vehicle. You can see the two Phillips screws right here. And what you have here is a rubber pressure plate that you can see here. And underneath this pressure plate, basically what happens is it causes two metal, or actually several metal contacts to contact another metal plate that's on the back of the component inside that pressure plate, which is connected to an electrical wiring harness that causes a contact, electrical contact to be made, which in turn opens the door as long as you have your key fob. In order to clean or fix the issue that the C6 commonly has when it gets dirty, we need to remove the two Phillips screws, take out this entire component here, which consists of basically a plastic frame in which the contact plate mechanism sits. So we'll take that out and we'll take it apart and we'll take a look at what the contacts look like. Not on this one because I just finished cleaning it and this one works fine, as I demonstrated before. It simply opens. However, if we walk around to the other door, I have not cleaned yet, and actually this is the one giving me the worst problem, is this one. So as you can see, I'm pulling and pushing with no luck. If I find the right spot down here, light should come on and it should open. As you can see, it's giving me some difficulty. There we go. That's what I don't want. So we're actually going to remove this one. I'm just going to basically take a Phillips screwdriver, remove those two screws and take the component off, and I will be back to show you how we disassemble and what it looks like inside. Okay, so this segment of the video is going to show how to basically remove the C6 door handle. Now this is a 2005 C6, and these have never been removed to clean. So shouldn't be too difficult. It's just two Phillips screws, and I'm going to take those off now and show you how you slide the door handle off. So we simply remove the screws, and they seem to be coming out pretty easy. Here's one. And the second. Now, those are the only two screws that are keeping this component in. Basically all you do is you just kind of wiggle it loose and it should slide straight out. Not much difficulty. Now you'll see here that the entire door handle component is held in place by a small wiring harness here, just connected with a clip, and all you do is stick your finger in there and lift up and it will release, and what you have left is the two components of the door handle. They fit together like this, this being the pressure plate mechanism, which is of course connected to the electrical plug, and this is just a plastic housing and trim piece for the door handle. They come in different colors. So what we're going to show you now is how to take the pressure plate apart and what it's going to look like underneath. I can guarantee it's going to be dirty and corroded, and we will polish it up, clean it up, reinstall it, and the door should work like brand new. Okay, now that we've disassembled the two components after removing them from the door of the C6, I took just a couple seconds to kind of clean them up a little bit. I just use a cleaning wax. That's a spray-on. It's a good, just kind of general purpose all-around cleaner for the car, you know, when trying to remove dirt and grime and stuff. So here you can see the two components. This one here is the door handle frame, which basically holds the pressure plate housing. Again, as I mentioned, the pressure plate housing is an electronic connector, and it's a very simple mechanism. It's just basically inside you have two metal connectors, and as you push the pressure plate, the metal connectors make contact with each other, and once contact is made, it completes an electric circuit, and the door opens. The problem is when those two contacts inside become dirty or corroded, there is no electrical connection to be made, and it can be very difficult to create that connection and get the door open. So we're going to basically be working with this piece here. As you can see, there are 6 very small Phillips head screws holding it into place. So we're going to remove those and take a look at what it looks like inside. Okay, we have the pressure plate mechanism open. As you can see, the screws are there, and as suspected, this is actually the pressure plate side. You can see the 4 metal contacts here. When pressed, they should make contact with this circuit board, or this contact board here, and you can see how dirty and corroded both are. So what we're going to do is simply clean it up. I'm just going to use the same cleaner that I used to kind of clean up the plastic component and rub off any grime that might be in there. And then from there, I'm going to use a Dremel tool, and I'll use several different brushes for the Dremel. One will be just a nylon circulating brush. And the first one I'll use is actually a steel or metal circulating brush, just to get all of that corrosion off, and then I'll use that nylon circulating brush to kind of polish it up. Give it one quick rub down with the cleaner after that, and we'll reassemble it, put it back on the door of the vehicle, and see how the door works from there. So here you go. This is what it looks like after just simply rubbing it down with a microfiber cloth and some of the cleaner. It actually got most of it off. I was actually very happy with that, so shouldn't have to use the brush too abrasively to get the remainder of the corrosion off, which is what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to start with the metal rotating brush here with the Dremel, and we'll see what it looks like after that step, and then we'll move on with the plastic rotating brush and finish up. Well, I decided to stop halfway through cleaning it up just so I could show you the difference between the two sides once I was finished cleaning and the other side before cleaning. You can see a significant reduction in corrosion, and this is what we're aiming for. And so I'm going to finish up, and we'll reassemble and put it on the door. Alright, so here we are with the entire thing reconditioned, cleaned up, corrosion removed, and we will now piece it back together, get it reinstalled on the Corvette's door, and see how she works. Alright, so here we are with the mechanism back in place. Put the small Phillips head screws back where they belong to get the pressure plate mechanism put back together, and just basically insert the pressure plate mechanism back into the handle like this. You can see there's a little plastic groove for it to fit in, and we'll reconnect the pressure plate component with the wiring here, and slip it right back onto the door. Put the 2 Phillips head screws back in, and the thing should be ready to go. So I'm going to do that now briefly. And it's just that simple to wire in. and it just fits right back on the door, like so. There we go. Now, one thing you might want to do is take time to clean up the paint that's underneath this little plastic door frame piece while you have it off. Just, you know, it gets dirty over time. And I will screw these back in. Now this entire process, without having to mess around with the video, probably takes about 10 minutes to get it off, take the pieces out, take them apart, get them clean, and put back on. Alright, so there we are, the mechanism's back in place. That's simple. You can see here the door handle, and I took the time to clean up that plastic piece there to get some of that old wax residue off. And so we'll close the door. And you remember what happened last time, how long it took, so this time hopefully we'll reach in here and just with a simple pull and press of that pressure plate, the door will open right away. There you go. That's simple. So, a very simple fix to what could be a very expensive problem if you took it to the dealership, which we don't want to do. So there you go, folks, from South Texas here in the middle of winter. Hope you got something out of this, and if you are having this problem with your C6 door handles, this will help you fix it fairly cheaply.